morning and welcome to In Conversation with Himali. A bright and beautiful day here, and that makes my heart push me to go and dance, though I don't know how to. But it still gives me the joy that I can move around. And I would like to quote, my favorite poet, Maya Angelou. Everything in the universe has rhythm. Everything dances. So do I. Indian classical dance is not just for entertainment, it's for bringing relief to our soul with each step that we and beat. India has almost about thousands of years of old tradition of fine arts and classical folk music and dances. Some of the world famous dance forms that originated and evolved in India are Bharatanatyam, Kathak, Kathakali, Kuchipudi, Manipuri, Mohiniyattam, and Odissi. In Conversation with Himali, with me today is Mr. Bijoy Anand Shivram, Principal at College of Performing Arts, Ahmedabad. And through him, the college has performed in various countries like Spain, UK, and the US at prestigious venues, and the college has received rare reviews for the performances. He has training in classical dance from a very young age in Bharatanatyam and Kuchipudi. Under the guidance of Srimati Kalamandalam Maithili from Chennai, Sri Bhaskar and Srimati Radha Menon from Ahmedabad, and Mallika and Mrinalini Sarabhai from the Darpan Academy. Since 1980, he has been giving performances all over the world as an accomplished classical and folk dancer. In 1993, he created a record by giving 144 performances in 120 days, while touring to Sweden, Denmark, Norway, and Finland. What an achievement is that? Wow. Welcome, Mr. Bijoy, to In Conversation with Himali, and thank you so much for agreeing to do this interview with me. I haven't yet given a full introduction about the different feathers you wear in your cap, because if I do that, we will have to interview the next round because your achievements are innumerable.
Thank you very much for all the compliments, and it's a great pleasure being here. In fact, yes, I have been in this field, and I have been with this college, of Performing Arts, which is affiliated with Gujarat University.
Right. Sir.
And it's a field that I love being in, and it was something I think God sent, because as a child, when I was tagging along with my mother, and my sister had started dancing, and I used to go and sit outside the class and watch her dance. And after a year, I mentioned this to my mother. I said, I'd love to learn dance if that is okay with you. And my parents have always been very supportive. They've never ever questioned what we want to do. They always felt that we should pursue our dreams. We should do what we want to do. And then in case we feel that, okay, there is a point where we feel that, okay, this is not working and we need to leave that, then that decision was left to us. They wouldn't decide that because they wanted us to realize what we were really pursuing. And that's how I got into dance. I've been dancing. My sister, of course, stopped dancing after the Arangetram, but I continued doing that because it's something that gives me all the pleasure and peace in life.
Wonderful. It's so important when we have our family supporting us. We can definitely achieve wonders. But I was just wondering, that being a very typical question, of course, but being a boy child, was taking up dancing only your choice, or were your parents or anybody around you apprehensive about your showing interest in learning Bharatanatyam?
No, it was totally my choice. And I must say that though my parents were very supportive and everybody in the house was very supportive, my extended family did feel that, all right, is this the right field to really go into? Because a boy at that age should be actually pursuing his studies and thinking of something else. And at that time, it was all either engineering or doctorate or doctor or something like that.
Yes.
But my first performance, my professional performance with my sister, in Kerala changed the whole picture, because I thought I should go and prove the whole thing there. And we had a chance to perform in Koilon. And when they all came to see the performance, they said, look, I think he's in the right field. He's doing a wonderful job. The audience loves it. So let him pursue it. And then they've only supported me after that.
That's so lovely, really. And it's interesting that, you knew right from the start what you wanted. And it's also very nice that now with the changing times, we see many more males, coming into this field, and the acceptance has increased. Would you agree with that?
Yes, absolutely. But the fact is, traditionally, if you look at it, a lot of the dances, classical dances, used to be done by men.
Right,
It
right.
was men who used to do Srivesham. Like if you talk about Kuchipudi, it was
Yes,
mainly men who used to do that. If you talk about
correct.
Manipuri, the Gotipuas, they used to
Right,
be doing it. And
right.
even in Kathakali, initially, the men used to do the Srivesham. It was
Ah,
later that the women joined in. So it's not that, but yes, of course, the society has a different concept for what men should do.
right.
And now it is opening up because, thanks to television and everything else that
Yes,
is there, people are seeing the
right,
beauty of what performing arts is. And now
right.
they feel, okay, if my child is good at it, let
Yes.
him do that because he'll do very well in life.
Yes, and it's such a beautiful form of expression, really. So how do you, develop the interest of Bharatanatyam in young minds?
See, when initially, if you try to impose on them, it doesn't really work out. It's in any field,
Right, sure.
science or commerce, or wherever the child goes. If you try
Yes,
to make it too academic, then
yes,
it doesn't really work. But then, if you more make it more practical oriented, get
yes,
the child involved in that. So, when you train in classical dance form, the initial 1 or 2 years is very tough. It is
I
very
understand.
vigorous because you're basically doing the basic steps, and
Uh-huh.
that's when a lot of the wickets fall off. Because they feel, oh, it's not my cup of tea.
Sure.
But at that time also, there is a way how you can introduce classical dance to people and make them grow stage by stage at a very comfortable level. And
Okay.
I say that because, see, today when I'm with a college which is offering a degree, there also I get
Yes.
women who have married, who have settled down in life, and because they couldn't pursue their passion when they were young,
Right.
because maybe the parents couldn't support it and all that, they have
Sure.
come to this now, and they're
Wow.
totally fresh. And at the age of 40, 45, 50, even there's a lady at 62 who's come to join to do a bachelor's. And we know that, the body doesn't really agree to that kind of physical treatment at the moment. So
Right.
we create a pattern, a kind of a program of how you can introduce them and how you can not lose the level of interest in that form. And if you do
Wonderful.
that, I think any field, like today, uh,
Yes.
people talk about education and using theater and arts in education. Why do they say
Yes.
that? Because mathematics, many times, many students find it boring. Science, they find it boring. But the
Yes.
moment you bring in artists and they dramatize the whole thing, it becomes
Absolutely.
interesting.
Oh, yes. I mean,
Like
I
in
come.
kindergarten,
Sure. Go ahead.
because there also now there's a lot of tactics that the teachers use in actions and dance and all that
Yes.
when they're teaching a nursery rhyme, and that makes it
Absolutely.
very interesting.
Definitely. I come from this from the field of speech and drama. I am a teacher there, and I do realize that so many teaching methods have introduced speech and drama as a way to introduce a new topic, and it works out very well too. So interesting. Mr. Bijoy, today it seems that a blend of classical and contemporary styles, along with the elements of theatre, are appreciated more by the audience than the traditional form of dance. I could be wrong here. You could correct me if I'm wrong. Can one adhere to the traditional method and conceptualize certain aspects that would appeal to the present day audience? How can that be
Definitely.
made relevant to the younger generation?
Definitely. There are a couple of artists which I'd like to mention here when you talk about this.
Oh,
Somebody
yes.
like Padma Bhushan Kumudini Lakhia,
Okay.
whose basic training is in pure Kathak. But right from the beginning, she saw a different meaning to Kathak, and she didn't need a language or a verse or something like that to express what dance was. What
Okay.
she wanted was, she always keeps saying, "Did you see your dancing? Did you feel your dancing?
Ah,
Did you like your, did it reach you?" And that is what really matters, because if you are able to connect with the audience with whatever style that you are in,
mhm.
using contemporary aspects of whatever that is available, then anything can be interesting. Astad
Right.
Debu, for example, Astad Debu, he started off as a classical dancer. He did a little training in Kathakali and all that. And
Okay.
then seeing all these contemporary art forms, he felt, okay, I think there's a lot of depth in that. So he started using that, and he's one of our first contemporary modern dancers of India who
Oh, is
took
that
dance
right?
all over the world from India, Asad Debu. So,
Oh, right.
and when you look at his performance, there's a lot of tradition in what he's doing, but at the same time, he's also connecting with all the lot of contemporary movements that you see around the world, whether it
I
is
see.
Merce Cunningham or Jonathan Hollander or X, Y, and Z. I mean, you see a lot of that in the form also.
I see.
So it is how you make your piece interesting
Right.
that matters.
So you were talking about the names which I'm not very aware of because I don't know your field at all. But it's very interesting to learn about different people who have brought a change in the scene of the dancing field. Thank you so much for sharing all that with us. I read in your bio that you have performed on stage, a solo performance as well as group performances, and you've done choreography too in India as well as in more than 30 countries in the world. Share with us an interesting anecdote from one of your experiences, sir.
Something that I always laugh about and I love talking about is once while I was traveling the Scandinavian countries,
Okay.
this 144 shows in 120 days. The lady who was the main coordinator of this whole performances, she
Hmm.
was a very strong nature lover,
Okay.
and wherever we used to travel, we used to get very hungry and we would want to have our lunch at 1 o'clock. She said, no, 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 we've not reached the right spot. Let us reach the right spot, a
Okay.
beautiful camping site where there's a beautiful river or something like that. And then we would eat. She was
Sure.
totally, I would say, a nature free, because I always say there are three kinds of people. One
Okay.
who's extremely into it, one who's totally not into it, and the other one who's balanced. And I thought maybe I'm in the balanced category.
Okay.
But she always used to tell me, because my group, they used to complain to me, sir, we are feeling very hungry, please stop the car, because we
Yes.
used to drive through Scandinavia for all these performances.
Okay.
So I was the one who was voicing this out to this lady, and she felt in the whole group I was the only one who didn't like nature. So she
Oh
kept
dear.
saying that, oh, you're really bad and all that. Then one day I thought, no, maybe I should make a difference and do something about that. So instead of
Right.
actually having a regular performance, which we had planned, I
Yes.
got my group together in the morning.
Yeah.
And then I said, okay, I have a new thing that in mind and we want to do this.
Okay.
So I did a piece called Pakshan, which is about environment. It is
Uh-huh.
about a bird who comes to a certain place and seeing the abundance of the natural resources and the beauty of nature, it
Hmm.
decides to make that his home, and then the story continues in that. And that I wrote it while I was there, and then I choreographed it while I was there. We were folk dancers and classical dancers, so using both the elements of
Oh.
folk and classical, I put this piece together. I did not tell this lady this is what we were going to perform. When the curtains opened, I came on stage and I introduced the piece. And she was
Oh.
shocked. She was sitting in the audience. I could see her in the balcony. And she's wondering, what is this guy up to? And then I mentioned, I said,
Wow.
Birgita. Birgita was the name. I said, Birgita always feels that I'm totally cut off with nature. But let me tell her that it is not so. It's maybe that I don't express the way she feels, but I
Sure.
feel the same for nature. And so here's this piece which is dedicated to Birgita. And then we did this piece, and she was crying by the end of the performance. And
I can
after that, she came
imagine.
and said, I'll never ever say this to anybody. I didn't think you could think of something like that. And that was a beautiful moment for me, because for a choreographer, for a dancer, for an artist, it is the
Yes.
appreciation that you get from the audience, and a
Absolutely.
genuine appreciation that matters.
Yes, yes. Oh, but that must have been a very interesting time for you to kind of create the story and turn it into an expression of
Well,
dance.
when you have dancers who are very cooperative, who are equally, capable of doing something, then there are many instances where I've done this, where I've experimented with my dancers. And, when you go to a location, suddenly you feel, okay, here pure classical is not going to work. So let us
Okay.
try something else. And I've done that. Like in Denmark, we went to a resort where we were dancing in the open, and the place was filled with mosquitoes. So I
Oh,
said, okay, this is how do we do classical dancing with our eyes open and giving all the
wow.
expressions. So I told my dancers, let's go into nature and let us do improvisation here. just
Okay.
follow what I'm doing and keep doing things. And in between, we were, connecting it with the advos and jatis and all that. And I told my musicians also, they followed. And we talked about the nature, the place, and then in between, I was hitting the mosquitoes and killing the mosquitoes and
I
showing the
don't
dancers,
believe this.
what is this place? And people thought that was a performance. They said, okay, this, and then they came and asked us, okay, how many days before did you rehearse this? And I said, well, we just did it right now. So
This
that's,
this
that's fun many a
this is
times. It's
outstanding. This is, I mean, absolutely fabulous. Really. So, Mr. Bijoy, you have directed and produced about 30 plus dance dramas. What inspires the story or the theme behind these dance dramas, and how long have you been performing?
Well, like I said, my first professional performance was in 80, immediately after the Arangetram.
Okay.
And which I also mentioned earlier, I didn't want, I never wanted to start a class. So
Okay.
I wanted to use what I've learned from these various gurus, because while I was at Darpana, I had the opportunity of learning from two wonderful gurus, Guru Pattagudi Ramaswamy and Guru Maheshwari Nagarajan there, and
Okay.
Radha Menon, another teacher there. So I had about six gurus from whom I've learned, and a lot
Okay.
of inputs from them, and various styles also at Darpana, because Darpana was a place where they didn't believe that you should stick to one particular style. That
Mhm.
whenever dancers would come for workshops there,
Yes.
Amma, that is Milani Sarabhai or Mallika, would want us to be part of that workshop, even though we were a Bharatanatyam dancer, whether it is Odissi or Manipuri or folk dances. They said, learn, pick up whatever you can. And
Yeah.
that has helped me in my dance.
Oh,
And
wonderful.
what the turning point of that was when I met a girl, Nikita Ghia,
Okay.
who's a dialysis patient. And
Okay.
I was told she wanted to start dancing, and I was not very sure. She was a common friend. I
Mhm.
went to meet her, and she said, I want to start from tomorrow. So I said, well, I don't know about that. She said, no, I've already done my Arangetam, so I know about it. But I like in 1985, I lost my kidneys, and I was on that for about
Oh,
many years. And 13 years later is when we meet in 97. And she said she wanted to dance. So I said, all right. And we started a journey together, which began with a Guru Sishya kind of relationship. And then we ended up being very close friends. And she
wonderful.
had this dream to help other dialysis patients who were very poor, from poor backgrounds, because she was coming from a very well to do family. So
Okay.
she said, Vijay bhai, I'd like to help all these people. So can we do performances, collect money, and create a kind of a fund for these poor patients? And
Fantastic.
there was my purpose for dance. I said, wow, that's what I want to do. And we joined together, we did it. And the first piece that I did was called Akanksha,
All
and
right.
that is aspirations.
Sure.
And it was basically the aspiration of a young girl, and just like Nikita, for her, the
Yes.
dream was different. But this story was revolving around a young girl who
Mhm.
gets married and comes to a new house. And, it was basically about women empowerment and the strength. And
Okay.
Nikita was somebody who had amazing amount of courage and strength, like even a normal person would many times complain of headaches and stuff like that,
Right. I
but
was just
nothing
thinking.
bothered her. Every alternate day she was undergoing dialysis. She was driving 3 hours, spending 8 hours in the hospital, coming back. So her life was dialysis.
My
But
goodness.
dance became a different story for her. And in 15 days, the doctor told her, there's something wrong with you. You seem very happy and very jovial right now. You don't seem to
Oh,
be falling sick. So whatever you're doing, please continue doing that.
beautiful.
And so every time when I get into pieces like this, it is always something that comes into my mind. I notice something and I said, okay, I need to do this. So like Akanksha is something that I created because of
Beautiful.
Nikita's aspirations. I
Wonderful.
did
And
something called Coach. This also I just like to mention. I did something called Coach, which is the search within,
coach. Okay.
because today in today's life, youngsters are so much into drugs and other things. And
Yes,
I'm in a
unfortunately.
college, and just across the street is a street where you get everything there, and which
All
shocked
right.
me. So I
Oh,
thought maybe I should get into a piece like this and involve all these children in that, so that they understand, how bad this could get them, and how one can, if you're strong, decide yourself, because nobody can help you with this. You have to do it
that's
yourself.
right. Yes.
I thought maybe if I put this piece together, involve all these artists, whether it is singing, dancing, or acting, all these factors I put together and created this piece, Coach, which was very well received, and many others like that.
Sure, I'm sure. And so that means that along with, having the passion to dance, you are also contributing towards the society. And that's so lovely. Thank you so much, Mr. Bijoy, for reaching out to so many people. Um, from your perspective, have you achieved success? Because when I read about you, to me, you are a very successful individual, as you have climbed the ladder with so many achievements. And now today, when I hear about the different dance performances that you have, with the themes that you just mentioned, I you have achieved in terms of contributing towards the society also. So, what would you say about it?
Well, I'm never let down by setbacks. Of course, I mean, when you begin, you always struggle. I have kind of in my this so many years of working and after my college, I've done something like being an accountant. I've had my own institution of we were into consumer products. We were doing marketing and selling and all that.
Oh, okay.
Then I was also selling a product for health. There was some which I took around India, but always at every point I felt, no, this is not what really my soul or my heart is in. I should get back to dancing. I should get back to dancing.
Right.
And that came to me in 2004 when I was offered to join this college of performing arts.
Okay.
And I was in a place which I loved. What I loved to do is what I was going to be paid for. So that's one thing that settled my earning factor of it.
Yes.
And then again, I've always never looked back at, okay, will I get something in return? I just wanted to keep continuing doing what I was doing. And
Right.
the appreciation that I was getting also from people like Kumudini Lakia ji has been a strong mentor for me.
Wow.
Though I've never been a student, she has always supported me. So
Right.
also Malika Sarabhai and Mrinalini Sarabhai and all these. So all these big people who've done such wonderful things in life, even if we try to do 10% of that, I think that is satisfactory. And that is really, it's not that I've never set a goal to what I want to do. I've
Right.
always wanted to do and not stop doing. Even today, I perform, I travel, I go and do workshops and everything. And what is kind of a return, and what I feel today, that yes, I am happy, and there's nothing in anything that I would say that, oh, I have not achieved this or I have not achieved that, because a couple of beautiful awards have come my way.
Yes.
In 2007, the Gujarat government, where I've been living in Gujarat for so many years,
Right, sir.
I was one of the only South Indians to receive that award that year, the Gaurav Puraskar from the Gujarat State Sangeet Natak Academy.
Congratulations.
So that was something, and today people have to apply, they have to fill up a form and say, okay, we want an award, please give us an award. Those times it was not so, they would recognize you for what you were doing. In the same way, last year, this came out of the blue. 16 people were selected from all over the world by IPRA, which is an international organization for peace.
Okay.
And because last year being the 150th, birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi,
Sure.
they decided to give this Messenger of Peace award. And I was one of them, and I was like in heaven thinking, oh wow, 16 people from across the world. And why did that happen? Because of the work that I was doing. Because there were a lot of performances that we did on peace and unity and harmony and all that. I've even gone to places to leprosy hospitals, or where there are troubled children after the riots, for kind of mental peace and all that. So there were a lot of I just used to go and perform, create something. It was never for the money.
Right.
And that's sport. So when you get such recognition, then I think you're happy that yes, you've done something in life and you have made a difference.
Fantastic, sir. Congratulations on the Gaurav Puraskar that you achieved in 2007. And also, to be one of the 16 people nominated from all over the world as a messenger of peace. And that indeed is a big feat. Congratulations, sir. I would also like to, from what you've said so far, I do understand that, if one chases his or her passion, there is success definitely coming their way. And definitely support from family and appreciation does add on. But it's about you as an individual who needs to believe in yourself and move ahead, is what I've taken away from you so far. But yet, I would request you to leave a small little message for my viewers to inspire them to move ahead.
Any field, I feel that if you feel that, all right, we've reached there and we've done enough, I don't think that works. We should always feel that we should keep working again and again. And the other thing, especially in the field of art, riyaz is what everybody talks about. Like, you have to have a continuous touch with what you are doing.
Right.
And you cannot say, all right, I've learned enough and now I don't need to practice. I can just go on stage and do what I feel like.
Right.
The audience is not a fool. There are a lot of youngsters today. If you look at it, there are such small children who have amazing talent. So if you're a dancer, if you're a singer, or if you're an actor, and you go and do some mediocre work, maybe a 5-year-old child will say, "Arey, ye kya karke gaya ye?" And that is not the kind of appreciation I think anybody should look for.
Absolutely.
So whatever you pursue, put your heart and soul in that, work hard in that. And definitely, the gains don't come immediately. It takes time. For some people, it is immediate. For some people, it takes, like for me, 50 years for me to reach where I am. But it will come. So never get disappointed with what you're doing. And always keep doing it with your full heart and soul in it. And I'm sure you'll, because there is no age. Yes, in dance, I would say there's a certain age after that physically you're not able to work it out. But as far as music and drama is concerned, you can always, till the last day, you can keep doing it. There are a lot of dancers who even till the last day, like Mrinalini Sarabhai at the age of 97, and even Kumudini Lakhia ji at 90 stood up and they did movements which was pure dance. So it's all here in the mind and here. So if you keep that strong, anything can happen.
Absolutely. Very, very nice message that you sent across. And you just mentioned that you've been dancing for 50 years, but Mr. Bijoy, you barely look 35. So that's a compliment that I would like to send across to you. Thank you very much. Mr. Bijoy has shared with us his journey to success, and we understand that it was his dedication and determination that brought him where he is today. Thank you very much, Mr. Bijoy, for this fantastic insight, and we wish you the best for all your future endeavors. My audience, thank you for being with me and supporting me with your likes and subscriptions. Keep in mind that it's that little step that we need to take ahead to achieve what we want to. And that little step may take a lot of hard work, but then that's what we do for ourselves. So let's do it. And if any one of you has any interesting story of success that you would like to share with me, kindly email to me. My email will be in the description. Mr. Bijoy, thank you very, very much for your time.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you very much.